Hi team, good afternoon. Myself Adira Vinod, and today I would like to discuss about the topic micro front-end architecture. And these are the topics I would like to cover. So basically, anybody has any idea about micro front-end or microservices? So micro front-end architecture is a type of design applied to the front-end part of the project, which allows us to divide UI into smaller or individual semi-independent applications, and it is basically an extension of microservices. Microservices is used in backend. This is the picture which depicts about the micro front-end, and those vertically arranged systems and teams below the picture is the core of this architecture, and these teams produce fragments, pages, and the pages fragments are integrated together using web components in backend and presented to the customer as a UI page. So these are the core ideas behind why micro frontend is popular. It is technologically independent. We can use it with any framework like Angular, Vue and React. And separation of teams. It is using micro frontend, people are divided into different teams and work separately in a smaller business area. And next one is team nomenclature. We can develop independent apps that are self-contained. And reselling web design means services are independent, so if any one of them crashes, that is mean by if any of the JavaScript in our program doesn't work, it does not affect the functionality of the entire project. Next one is use native browser events, and the last one is faster development, because developers can work on multiple services because they are divided into separate teams, so they can develop work parallelly in multiple services. Next topic is technical benefits of this architecture. It is used for optimize for future development. In this picture itself, you can see in the left side there is a hierarchical architecture. That means if only after completing the business section we can go through the next content service. So all of them are dependent each other. But in right side we can see the separate components like team inspire, team decide and team checkout. So we can work independently. So it is good for medium to large size project. Next one is no more front-end monolithic. Monolithic is similar to that hierarchical architecture which is already shown in the last slide. So in this also multiple front-end team can work in a project. So next one is technical benefits of the architecture, and next point is no more front-end monolith because multiple front-end can work in a team, and the source code for each individual micro front-end will be much smaller than the source code for single monolithic architecture. And the next point is continuously deployable components. So that we can, if we want to upgrade from a particular section, it is very easy to do it, because whenever we want to upgrade to a new section, rather than being forced to stop the entire project, we can concentrate and upgrade on that particular section itself. So it is easy to keep changing. Next one is sample implementation of this project. Here I am using a food delivery app in which there should be a landing page where customers can browse and search for restaurants, and each restaurant needs its own page that shows its menu items, similarly like the Zomato or Swiggy app. And customers should have a profile page where they can see their order history and track delivery, etc. So this is the integration approach, how we approach that food delivery app relating to micro front-end architecture. So here itself you can see that there is a single container application which is in blue color, and it renders common page elements such as headers and footers, and there will be an address cross-cutting concerns like authentication and navigation. And the third one is it brings various micro front-end together onto the page and tells that micro front-end when and where to render itself. This you can see itself in it's shown in green color. So these are the different approaches which is explained here. First one is server-side template composition. This is I already told earlier. Code is split into such a way that each piece represents a specific business area or concept that can be delivered by an independent team, and they have their own deployment pipeline. So here itself user browser request and index.html contained in a container, and that developer request relevant HTML page or that CSS page to deploy. Next one is built-in integration. In this, the micro frontend is given as a package which can be added into package.json file. This is the example of our food delivery app, in which you can see that in dependencies we are added browse restaurants, order food, user profiles as separate containers. And third one is runtime integration with iframe. You may already know that what is iframe. Iframe is an HTML page which is inside another, renders inside another HTML page, and it makes easy to build a page out of independent subpages, and they also offer good isolation from other contents. And the fourth one is runtime integration with JavaScript. This is one of the easiest method in which we can include the micro frontend in the script, inside the script tag in our project. So this is the code for that. Inside the script tag we can define the type and a function which micro frontend by rote, and adding it as order food, user profile, etc. And last one is runtime integration with web components, which is used in an Angular. It's used this type architecture when integrating with micro frontend, not with single page application. When Angular is integrating with micro frontend, this is used. Web components are a set of web platform API that allows developers to reuse UI components in using a specific standards. So this is the front end of the project which I told. So this is how we can arrange the repositories in Git. So here itself you can see that the entire project is divided into small parts like container, browsing section, restaurant order, content, and etc. So this is also another example of micro frontend architecture, in which it's an e-commerce based project page, and the team product decides which functionality is included and where should be each component should be positioned, and it is in outlined with red color, and team checkout, which is outlined with blue color, is now responsible for everything regarding the checkout page, and team inspire, which is in green color, manages the recommended product or related product, something like that. So this is also an example of micro frontend architecture which divides a single page into different components. So next one is different types of micro frontend. This is already covered. First one is vertical micro frontend. You can already see in the picture what it looks like. Allows one micro frontend per business domain. In horizontal, allows multiple micro frontend per page, because in horizontal split, header, product details are divided separately, but in vertical split, header, product details of a particular component is divided Third one is hybrid micro front end, combines both vertical and horizontal type. Shell micro front end loads and initializes micro front end as needed. So a shell micro front end is like that. First loading page will look like the shell micro front end. And third one is widget micro front end. Each widget has its own HTML, CSS and its related JavaScript code. So it is easy to deploy and develop. So next one is limitations or challenges in using this micro front end. It is operational complexity because the team needs to manage multiple code bases or dependencies or deploy multiple processes. So it is one of the most challenging in micro front end. And next one is coordination. In micro front end architecture, we need much coordination than using any other single page application or any other monolithic architecture. And it also increases page load time, as I already told, because it is divided into subcomponents. It takes more time to load, and testing can be a little bit time consuming compared to other architecture because each is divided and we have to test it separately. And it needs high initial investment because team in this architecture it need more members in the team, so it might be need more capital. So how to overcome these challenges is consider using lightweight protocols like REST API or GraphQL to reduce complexity, and to optimize cost consider using cloud-based solution like AWS, Google Cloud, etc. And next one is to simplify integration challenge, standardize all technologies we are using, and to reduce the development time and overhead, use DevOps practices like continuous integration and continuous deployment. So these are the companies mainly using micro front end. It is mostly popular in e-commerce sector. IKEA, Upwork, Spotify, Amazon are using this. In this picture, it's an micro front end type architecture used in IKEA. In this picture itself, you can see that the project is divided into three sections. First one is the dashboard, and second one is cart section, and third is checkout section. So the conclusion, this is not a new technology, it's already invented in 2016, but people are not using much because of some limitations, and if we are overcoming this limitation, it might be one of the good faster feature in future for future development. These are the references. Thank you.